Hello friends, good afternoon one and all. Today we will going to discuss about the next part in the random process, that is noise. In my previous video, I hope that all of you like the Gaussian process and understand the things. What are the Gaussian process, what are the different properties of the Gaussian process, etc. And today onwards we have seen the noise, the next part in the random process. Then what is the mean by the noise? The basically the source of the noise may be external to the system here, that is the atmospheric noise, the galactic noise, man-made noise, etc., or internal to the system, means within the system. Basically any system, what we do with the help of this block diagram, here is the input, means you are able to apply the input to the here is the system, and to getting the output from here is the output. Means suppose input signal is able to apply to the system, and that signal is processed it and to getting the output. But sometime there is an internal noise, or internal noise should be generated due to the fluctuations, due to the imperfections then the internal system, and the source of the noise may be the external, that is the atmospheric noise, galactic noise, the man-made noise, etc. The second category include an important type of the noise that arises from the spontaneous fluctuation of the current or voltage in the electrical circuit. Means the spontaneous fluctuations of the current or voltage in the electrical circuit, and this type of the noise represents the basic limitations on the transmission or detection of the signal in the communication system involving the use of the electronic devices. Means basically this type of the noise represents the basic limitations of the transmission or detection of the signal, and due to that the noise is generated. Basically in the first case there is an external noise or internal noise. External due to the atmospheric noise, galactic noise, man-made noise, and in the second category it will be include an important type of the noise that arises from the spontaneous fluctuations of the current or voltage in the electrical circuit. So this type of the noise represents the basic limitations on the transmission or detection of the signal in the communication system involving the use of the electronic devices. The two most common example of the spontaneous fluctuation is that the fluctuations in the electrical circuit, which is called as the short noise and the thermal noise. Suppose there is a one example in the circuitry. There is a current is flowing through the any resistor beyond the capacity, then heat should be generated, and due to that the heat, it may be the resistor is a burnout, and there is a disconnection in the circuit. This is the one example due to the noise should be means the spontaneous fluctuations of the current or voltage in the electrical circuits. Then the second example about that, here basically the transistor. Means transistor, it may be the voltage controlled or current controlled devices, MOSFET or simple transistor BC 147, 148. If it is not a heat sink will be provided, and suppose there is a current, high current is able to flow through the transistor, then beyond its capacity it may be the burnout. So sometime what happens, there is a internal heat sink or external heat sink should be provided for the power components or power devices. So the most two common example of the spontaneous fluctuations in the electrical circuits are the short noise and the thermal noise. Then what is the meaning of the short noise? In case of the short noise is arises in the electronic device such as the diode and the transistors, because of the discrete nature of the current flow in these devices. Means discrete nature in the devices, means the short noise is arises in the electronic device such as the diodes and transistors because of the discrete nature of the current flow in these devices. For example, the photodetector current. In photodetector means it is the photodetector transistor. The light is a falls on the base to emitter junction, and if the ion should be created, and due to the ions the electrons is a flow through this positive to negative towards the positive terminal, and current is flowing from positive to negative. In this way current is flowing through the photodetector circuits, so that in the photodetector circuit the current pulse is generated every time, and electron is emitted by the cathode due to the incident light from the source of the constant intensity. The electrons are naturally emitted at the random times denoted by the Tk or tau k, which is called as the tau k, means for tau k. And this tau k should be indicated by the electrons are naturally emitted. Electrons are the naturally emitted at the random times. If the random emission of the electrons have been going for a long time, then total current flowing through the photodetector may be molded as the infinite sum of the current pulses, and that will be represented by x of t, which is equal to summation of k, which is equal to minus infinity to plus infinity h of t minus tau k. Means here h of t minus tau k, where h of t minus tau k is the current pulse generated at a time t of k, and the process of x of t is the stationary process. Means this x of t, means this example means the infinite, the photodetector may be molded as the infinite sum of the current pulse, and that will be represented by this equation. There is a x of t. So the process of x of t is the stationary process, and which is called as the short noise, which is called as the short noise. Then the short noise, the number of the electrons, basically the number of the electrons n of t are emitted in the time interval 0t. Okay, this is the time interval 0t, and which constitutes the discrete stochastic process, the value in which it is increased by 1 each time electrons is emitted. Means this is the sample function. Once the time is goes on the increases, whatever the number of the electron should be emitted in between the time duration tau 1 to tau 2, tau 2 to tau 3. In this way, the mean value of the number of the electrons V is emitted between the time t and t plus t0, which is represented by E of V, this E of V, which is equal to lambda of the t0, and where lambda is the constant and which is called as the rate of the process. Means this lambda is called as the rate of the process, and whatever the rate of the process, the total number of the electrons emitted in the interval t into t to the t plus t0, which is equal to V, which is equal to n of t plus t0 minus n of t, and which is follows the Poisson's distribution with the mean value equal to the lambda of the t0. Means there are the different probability models, and in case of the different probability models there is a Poisson distribution, then binomial distribution, uniform distribution. These are the n number of the types we have seen later. Then the probability that the k electrons and that k electrons are limited in the interval t of t plus t0, which is given by the probability of P, which is equal to V of k, in case of the short noise, which is equal to lambda t0 raised to k upon k factorial. Here is the k factorial, then e raised to minus lambda k. Then this value of the k, means this value of the k, and that value of the k should be varying from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 up to the n number. Then thermal noise. Then the next part we have seen the thermal noise. What is the name of the thermal is nothing but the heat, and due to the heat the noise is generated in a communication system, which is called as the thermal noise. So and this thermal or heat should be generated due to the electrons, motion of the electrons in the conductor. So that we have seen in detail. In case of the thermal noise, thermal noise. The thermal noise is the name given to the electrical noise, and that electrical noise is arises from the random motion, means from this here, the random motion of the electrons in the conductor, a random motion of the electrons in the conductor, which is called as the thermal noise. Then mean square value of the thermal noise voltage, the thermal noise voltage P of Tn appearing across the terminal of the resistor, and which is measured in the bandwidth delta F hertz, and that delta of hertz is given by the expected value of the V raised to Tn, means basically the noise voltage, thermal noise voltage. This thermal noise voltage, which is given by 4k Tr delta F volts, means here basically the mean square value we have to be calculated by using this equation, and which is equal to the expected value of the square of the thermal noise voltage, which is equal to 4k T delta F volts, and delta F is nothing but it is measured in the bandwidth. Then the K, basically the K will be indicated by here, this K, the K will be indicated, K is nothing but the Boltzmann constant, and K is the Boltzmann constant, which is equal to 1.38 into 10 raised to minus 23 joules per degree Kelvin. Means the value of the K should be given, there is a 1.38 into 10 raised to minus 23 joules per degree Kelvin. Hence the T is the absolute temperature in the Kelvin, and R is the resistance in the ohm. Basically we have tried to understand first the thermal noise is the name give, the electrical noise arises from the random motion of the electrons in the conductor, and which is represented by the expected value of the mean square value of the thermal noise voltage, and which is depends upon the thermal noise voltage appearing across the terminal of the resistors. Again the Boltzmann constant, then absolute temperature, the resistance, these are the another parameter with respect to the bandwidth. Then white noise. Then what is the meaning of the white noise? Itself the name it will be indicated, it is a look like a white color, that's why it is called as the noise? No. The noise analysis is the customarily based on the idealized form of the noise, which is called as the white noise. Means it is the original form, it is in the original form, and due to the original form the noise analysis is the customarily based on the idealized form of the noise, which is called as the white noise. And the power spectral density, which is the independent of the operating frequency. So that white is used in the sense that white light contains the equal amount of the all the frequencies. The question maybe arises in the examination, why this noise, white noise, is called as the white? The answer behind it, the white noise is used in the sense that the white light contains the equal amount of the all the frequencies, within the visible band of the electromagnetic radiation. Means the white is used in the sense that the white light contains the equal amount of all the frequencies within the visible band of the electromagnetic radiation, and we expressed the power spectral density of the white noise with the sample function is denoted by Wt. Okay, then it will be again represented by, we express this power spectral density here, the power spectral density S of W of F, which is equal to N0 upon 2. Then how to find out the N0 is a determination, the dimension of the N0 is the watts per hertz, and K is the Boltzmann constant, means it is again the Boltzmann constant is given 1.38 here, 1.38 into 10 to the 3 joules per degree Kelvin. Then T is the equivalent noise temperature of the receiver. Then in case of the white noise, the equivalent noise temperature of the system. The another very important parameter in the white noise is that the equivalent noise temperature. And in case of the equivalent noise temperature of the system is defined as the temperature at which the noisy resistor has to be maintained such that by connecting the resistor in the input of the noiseless version of the system, and it produces the same available noise power at the output of the system, so that it will be produced all the source of the noise in the actual system. Means equivalent noise temperature of the system is defined as the temperature at which noisy resistor is whatever the temperature at which here the temperature, and that temperature at which a noisy resistor, and that noisy resistor has to be maintained such that by connecting the resistor to the input of the noiseless version of the system, so that it produces the same available noise power at the output of the system as produced by all the source of the noise in the actual system. All the source of the noise in the actual system. So that the autocorrelation function in the inverse Fourier transform of the power spectral density, it will be given in case of the white noise, the RW of tau, which is equal to N0 upon 2 into delta T. So that at any two different samples, means here basically it will be shows that the any two different samples of the noise, no matter how to close together in that time, are taken are the uncorrelated. But if the white noise W of T, basically white noise is the W of T is also a Gaussian, then the two samples are, if it is Gaussian, then respective of the two samples are again statistically independent. Then example on the white noise, ideal low pass filter. Suppose that the white Gaussian noise W of T of the two zero mean, and the power spectral density is given N0 of 2 is applied to the ideal low pass filter of the bandwidth B and the passband amplitude response of the 1. So that how to draw whatever the parameter should be given, see here this diagram. Here this diagram it will be indicated by its bandwidth is the B, means plus B and minus B, then B minus B means 2B. Then basically its power spectral density, that power spectral density it will be given N0 upon 2. And very important parameter is that Gaussian noise, the Gaussian noise should be represented as of N of F for the white noise, and the power spectral density of the noise N of T, it will be given by Sn of F, which is equal to N0 upon 2 if the frequency should be greater than minus B but less than B, and if it is 0 then the unique amplitude of the unique frequency should be greater than the bandwidth. Then autocorrelation function we find out the R of N of tau, which is equal to integration of minus B to B N0 exponential function of J2 pi Fc df. Once we find out its integration, then N0 2 means here 2, N0 upon 2 means 2 gets cancelled, and this exponential function is represented by sine cosine function of the sine. There is a sine C2 beta t. So it will be represented again here, whatever the autocorrelation function, this value of the B or bandwidth should be varying from here 1 upon 2B, 1 upon 2B, 1 upon B, 1 upon B, 1 upon 3B. In this way we have drawn here. Then narrowband noise. The next part is the narrowband noise. The receiver of the communication system. What is the narrowband noise? The receiver of the communication system is usually include the sum of the provision for the pre-processing of the received signal. Means here is the pre-processing of the received signal, and the pre-processing may be take the form of the narrowband filter, whose bandwidth is just large enough to pass the modulated component of the received signal, essentially undistorted but not so large as it admits the excessive noise through the receiver. Then the noise process happening at the output of such filter is called as the narrowband noise. So from figure A and figure B, from here is the figure A, here the figure A, and in figure B. In case of the figure A, figure B, it will be the here AM signal should be, amplitude modulated signal should be given, but power A is the power spectral density of the narrowband noise, and in figure B it will be shows that the sample of the function of the narrowband noise which appears somewhat similar to the sine wave of the frequency fc. So which is the undiluted slowly for both amplitude as well as the phase. And what is the narrowband? Basically the narrowband filter whose the bandwidth is just large enough to pass the modulated component of the received signal. So essentially it is the undistorted, but it will be continuously passing that signal for the long time, then it admits the excessive noise through the receiver. So that this is called as the narrowband noise. So the representation of the narrowband noise in terms of the in phase and quadrature component. Basically in phase and quadrature means total phase. Here is the total phase 360 degree. It will be divided into the 4 parts. Means here is the 1, 2, 3 and 4. Means totally here divided the 4 part 1, 2, 3 and 4. So that here the considered the narrowband noise n of t of the bandwidth is 2b and centered at the frequency, center frequency is fc. So its noise is represented, narrowband noise is nt is given ni of t cos 2 pi fct minus nq of t sin 2 pi fct. Means there are the two phase component. One phase component is the in phase component of the n of t, and another phase component is the quadrature phase. There is a quadrature component of the n of t. So what we do here, for both ni of t means in phase component and the quadrature phase component, both are the low pass filter. Then for the extraction in phase and the quadrature component of the narrowband process. So generation of the narrowband process from in phase and quadrature component, that will be given to the here. Here is the extraction for the extraction of the in phase and the quadrature, and here is the generation. Then n of I of t and nq of t are the narrowband noise n of t have the some important properties. The first property is that the in phase component and the quadrature phase component of the n of t have zero mean, because both values should be same. For this the both values should be same, ni of t and nq of t, then its value should be subtracted and the both values should be equal, hence its subtraction should be equal to 0. Hence n of t means narrowband noise n of t, this n of t which is equal to 0. Then if the n of t is the Gaussian, if it is the Gaussian, then the in phase component and the quadrature phase component both are jointly Gaussian. Then third property about that, the n of t is the stationary, then in phase component and the quadrature phase component are jointly stationary. Here is the jointly Gaussian and here is the jointly stationary. So in the we move towards the property number 4. In case of the property number 4, both ni of t and nq of t have the same power spectral density, which is related to the power spectral density, and which is to be given as n1 of ni of f, this power spectral density for in phase component, and this is the power spectral density for quadrature phase component. And if your frequency should be greater than or equal to minus b or less than or equal to plus b, then Sn of f minus fc plus Sn of f plus fc, then 0 for otherwise. So in case of in phase component, next property about that, the in phase component and the quadrature phase component have the same variance in the narrowband noise n of t. Already we have seen this is the property number 1. So the next is the cross spectral density. In case of the cross spectral density for the ni of t and nq of t are the purely imaginary. Once it is the purely imaginary, the s of n1 and nqf, which is equal to minus nq ni of f, which is equal to j of this parameter, will be given. Then the next property is the n of t, means basically n of t stands for here narrowband noise. Narrowband noise is the Gaussian, then its power spectral density S n of t is the symmetric about the mid frequency Fc. Then ni of t, means here ni of t and nq of t are statistically independent for this case if the your narrowband noise is the Gaussian. Up to the here we have seen what is the noise, what is the thermal noise, then what is the short noise, how it will be represented, then thermal noise, how to find out its expected value related for the thermal noise voltage. Then white noise, white is called as the white noise. White noise is called because it uses the sense of the white light and it contains the equal amount of the all the frequencies of the signals within the visible band of the electromagnetic radiation. Then some example, then narrowband noise, then representation of the narrowband noise in the two form, there is a in phase and quadrature phase components. Then there are the different properties of the in phase component and the quadrature phase component with respect to the narrowband noise. I hope that all of you understand clearly the noise, what are the different types of the noise, what are its properties and how it will be behave. So please subscribe my channel, please press the bell icon, never miss any updates. Please, any doubts, any query, please write on my comment page. Thank you very much.